Alright, how's it going, guys? It has been a heck of a day around here. Had another prep stream this morning, which, as usual, I will link up in the corner on the little card thing. But let's get looking at what we did today. So, I piped up the CO2 coming out of the miniature nether portal here. I put a miniature nether portal over at the pump, and it's running our ethanol over there. And if we go in the nether here for a second, you'll be able to see, talk about that in a second. Also, I did some decorating in the nether. I got tired of this big ass hole over here, so I closed it up. I got tired of all the soul sand, so I dug it all out. We now have all that soul sand dug out. I left those for some reason, and this is my way down, so I still have to get that fixed. But I got this all cleaned up. I got nice walkway down through here. This is our miniature nether portal there that goes to the pump. And this is the ethanol line running to it. This is the CO2 running back. And over here is our miniature nether portal running from the distillery into here. And we've had the pump running over there at the tungsten limonite vein for quite a while. I don't have the fermenter and stuff automated, so it turns on and off. These are my stone bees I finally got working. So I have upgraded apparently to a rocking bee, which is our next stage. So that's nice. And I'll take you guys over here to the pump real quick. This is the main stuff we did today, other than the upgrade for gas. We changed over all of the burning boxes in the smelting room and the alloying room. We switched them all over to gas, which means I needed to make a tungsten carbide wrench today, because chromium is a level 3 material and red steel is only level 2. I could have made a vanadium steel. That is level 3 as well. And I have the vanadium to do it, but I figured as much as I use my wrench, why not go ahead and get tungsten carbide now for it, because versus the 102 durability that this is, tungsten carbide is 512,000. 5120 is what I usually call it, because it's 5120 plus 2 zeros. And there are always slimes over here. Really annoying. Get out of here. You fap too much. Fap somewhere else. Anyways, if you guys remember, we had the pump set up here so we could look in the glass. Well, it has now moved down 2 levels. And we are down to here. which you can see is kind of an issue because we are out again. Drop some stuff off. Greg just did an update that should fix this water wall crap. I'm going to close off the input for this. That way it'll stop running for no reason here, because it's done all it's going to do, and I'm not going to restart it until I update to that new version. I'll probably move it all the way over to here, because I do believe all of this is now empty. Yeah, all of this is empty. We don't have to worry about any of that anymore, including all the way down here, because I just got done. Oh, that's not done. But I don't think I need to be down this far. Oh, great. And I can't put anything underneath me because I can't get up. There we go. Alright, so don't mess with that, obviously. But yeah, we're going to move the pump over to here, and there's an update that should fix that. It's got like 4 or 5 different walls back there. Greg says it's because his pump looks at each different kind of water differently, and so therefore if one is ocean water and one is river water, it's not going to grab them both. And I think the update he said was going to make it not differentiate between the waters. Water would be water. So it'll still not pick up like oil or lava if you set it to pick up water. But if it's river water, it'll pick up swamp water, it'll pick up ocean water, whatever. So I will get that update in a little bit, and we will check that out before the next video, I'm sure. For that guy and that guy. I need to get this cleaned up a little bit over here for getting through here. Maybe put some fences in to keep some of the badness away from when I come over here, because I come over here a lot. I'm actually thinking about setting up a drop through that nether portal, because the nether portals, you can go in and out of every side of it, and currently I'm only going in the side of one, out the side, well, in and out the side of 2. So I can go on the front, and then I can do items through, so I wouldn't have to carry all my boxes back. I could literally set one up that sends it to a bank of chests or a bank of crates or something. Just put a hopper on a pipe and set up a bank of chests over here, and it'll just put it all in there. If I get my storage building complete, because I want to, as we move these, I'll explain that in a minute. I want to start putting some barrels in here, start taking out some of these chests and put in more barrels, and this is going to be for more storage. And just put like all the different cobblestones, all the different mob drops, give each one of them their own barrel, And then when I send stuff through the nether portal like that, it'll be able to sort itself out and into all these barrels. But let's talk about what we did for the gas update. So all of these are now gas. And why did that not turn off? That's alarming. That's never done that before. $2,400. Something get messed up with the piston? No. I don't really want to lose a stainless steel crucible, but let me get a block. It turns yellow. I'm dropping this. Let's drop this down to 2,200. So it should stop it well before. You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't even know what stainless steel blows up at. Let me get that out of there and get a regular crucible for a second. I'm not worried about turning off the gas because, well, I have tons of it. I'll just turn this back to 2,400. The only thing I did to this was put the gas burning box in, so there's no reason it shouldn't have turned off. Which means I lost a little bit of invar, I'm sure, because the last bit has to come out of there while it's cooling. I didn't lose much. Okay, so that's the problem. Alright, 2,400 is too high with a steel burning box with gas. Okay, so now we know we need to turn that down. Yeah, you shouldn't reach in there. Alright, well, that's a good thing to know. It was Invar, and I switched it over to steel because I didn't think it would be a problem. But that means this one should probably have a problem too. So I'm going to have to reset the settings on each one of these. I did the iron one too. Alright, so I'm going to work on that, and I'll let you guys know next time what I came up with for the settings. But just know 2,400 is too damn high. Anyways, I also set up a manual smelter back here for tungsten. That's so I could make tungsten carbide for that wrench. It has a chromium burning box, and it had this because I used the extra heat from the tungsten carbide. I let it go down in temperature and put the red steel dust I had in there and made my red steel axe, which I keep forgetting to use on the grindstone here. There, now I can actually make my red steel axe. Okay, now let's get back over here to this building, which I'm thinking about making another building. So you guys may have another building video coming soon. So I need to extend this wall back another chunk. I like to have 3 chunks by 3 chunks, and currently I have 2 chunks by 2 chunks, which I'm starting to run out of room already because I got to keep everything burning box wise away from that wall over there. And as you can see from my pipe here, I've started doing pipes on the other side, or on the other level, automating. So I moved the grass and the flower from down there to up here, and I put in one for plant remains. That is literally just like saplings is what I did for that. If you remember, I have that barrel over in the other building that is completely full. Well, not completely full, but it's has a bunch of willow saplings in it. I grabbed all of them, threw them in the shredder, and that's what made all the plant remains up there. But I have those 3 automated to the fermenter. Greg also has an update for the machine pulling from the juicer, which I need to check that real quick, because when I originally did this, it wasn't pulling the honey in from the juicer. It did, but it took quite a while. So now you can see it's going in there instantly, where before it was just sitting around and waiting. Now it's going in nice. It kind of was acting like a vanilla chest. If you've ever put something in a vanilla chest on the auto input side of a GregTech machine, it'll take like 3-4 seconds, something like that, before it'll actually go in, or it will go in as soon as you start the machine. It was kind of acting like that. It took a little bit, but then it, eventually would go in on its own. And I think that's about all we did today. We did the piping. Oh, one other little thing we did. Well, actually, 2 little things we did. We repiped all of the coal coke and charcoal over to here, seeing as how we aren't using solid fuel in the main building over there anymore. And all of my solid fuel is going here. Eventually, we will be sending some of it over to the factory. I will probably by that time move the coke ovens over near the factory as well. But we're eventually going to need coal coke dust over here. So we'll be sending the coal coke into the shredder. What we don't send over there for that, which we will probably be doing CO2 gas from aluminum, electrolyzing it to get carbon, so we may not need the coal coke because we can actually use carbon, because with running that diesel engine and making aluminum, we're up to 535 CO2, so we need to start electrolyzing that somewhat soon, which with the dynamo taking RU, we can easily set up a engine to do that instead of a boiler. So we might do that somewhat soon. We've got a distillation tower sitting here that I need to get set up. I've already grabbed some oil the other day and brought it up. So we may have a video in a few days setting that up, which will give us more fuels we can use. And that will also give us the stuff to start on plastic so we can get to electricity. Get to electricity would be really nice. This factory will change a lot because once we get to electricity, well, it'll probably change a lot once we get to the distillation tower, because then we should be able to send in engines or set up engines for all of our mixers and stuff instead of boilers. But we also added 3 new barrels down here for stone dust. We put in a Ordic filter here for crushed ore, so no worries anymore about dust going up into our crush box. So we don't have to worry about that. I still have to pipe this. I completely forgot about this back here. I still got to get that done, so the cinnabar from gold ore will go into the crusher. I need to see if there's any other ores that give out gems like that. I did forget to put that pipe right there, so let's get that done while we're here. And I changed this over so it goes into here and then goes out that way. And this is only connected in case the shredder has dust that it needs to send into our stone line. Otherwise, this wouldn't be connected because the stone comes down, the crush goes in there. There shouldn't be a whole lot going that way, except I did go through the rock box, and anything that had a containing got thrown in the crusher. But this is what we came down here for. I put in a filter with gloomstone and willow for right now, every size. So that will come in, go into the generifier, get sent out, and go into barrels, so I don't have to worry about having gloomstone. It'll generify into glowstone, and the willow pulp will generify into wood pulp. And I'm going to get a oak, a dark oak, a birch, and put all 3 of those in there. And then any of the other trees that I happen to use, which won't happen very often, they'll get thrown in there as well. That way they'll all generify down to wood, so I only have 1 wood dust barrel. We also now have Invar in here because I got rid of all of the burning boxes that we had. So we've got 82 bronze dust, 14 steel dust, and 9 Invar dust. So I didn't get rid of all of them. I got rid of any of them that were not steel or Invar. Or I'll take you over here. I pretty much only got rid of bronze. There was a couple Invars I got rid of. I think they were solid. So I've got liquid Invar, liquid steel, and solid steel. I kept them in case I wanted to use them for distillation towers or turning liquid fuels into electricity, which if I do that, I'm going to use engines, so I'm only really saving them for distillation tower currently. And then we also did this, I kind of forgot, when I streamed for 5 hours, so my brain's kind of all over the place trying to remember. But when we got rid of all of the liquid burning boxes, I put in a bath, took the pipe out of the floor, sent it up here, so we now have creosote in a bath. That's the only thing hooked to our creosote tank. So when we need to make new barrels, I can just throw the wood in here and it'll come out over here. I won't have to stand there and wash in the bathing pot any longer. And I guess the one last thing before I let you guys go today was I moved the low heat extruder and the oven over here, both gas powered. And I also put in the germanium bookshelf I made quite a while ago. So now we have our low heat and our regular extruder right here. And the oven. This is where I'm going to be doing most of my crafting from now on. So I figured might as well have both of those right here. And as for the building that I was talking about, we may be building a new building soon for fermenting. I'm going to be making a distillation tower, because if we look at biomass here, if we put it in a distillation tower, you put in 80 liters of biomass, you get out 50 liters of distilled water, 20 liters of ethanol, 20 liters of glycerol, and 4 liters of methane. Methane is a burnable gas, so we can burn that. Glycerol we'll get back to. Ethanol, burnable fuel, what we're using for our pump right now. And distilled water we need for all the things, all the boiler things. So if we do that though in the distillery, which is what we're doing now, we get 40 liters of biomass, so half of the input gives us 12 ethanol, where over here, if we cut that in half, that would be 10 ethanol. So 80 to 20, or over here it's 40 to 12. So you actually get 2 extra ethanol, but you get 20 instead of 50 distilled water. So you get less distilled water, you get none of the glycerol, and none of the methane. And the glycerol, by the way, we will be using for making glycerol. I don't know how to pronounce the two differently. And then that we will be using to make dynamite dust, because Greg has recently made his dynamite fortune to level 5. Now, I do have to agree with Ung that it would be really nice if it would do a 5x5, so it would be easier to chain them together, which 3x3 is kind of meh for chaining together. There's also the strong, which to me the strong would be the better one to do a 5x5, leave the weak one to 3x3. I make the strong one do 5x5 so you can chain them together. But with them doing fortune, and now us being able to fortune our ores of any kind into these raw ores, it'll be quite nice to use blasting for mining, at least for some things. For other things, maybe not quite so much, but you know, you want to fortune everything you can, right? So you know, blow it up. So you need the glycerol. So I will leave you guys with that. I will probably make a separate video of me messing around with the crucible, trying to get the right number over there. I know how much you guys love watching me die, so it might be a good video to watch me burn up quite a few times. And I will leave you guys with that. Also, Crazy has been making some food videos on the server. I'm going to put a link to the first one here in the cards, and I will be putting them in the playlist for this series, because that's something you're not really going to see a lot from me. She really gets into the food part of GT6 where I don't. So I think it would be a good addition to the series. So I'll be putting it in there. So keep an eye on that. Give her, a follow, a subscribe, whatever. And you can see when she puts out new videos from the server. Have a good one, guys.